SCR 8 is not a bill. It is a Senate concurrent resolution, meaning it does not change law directly, but it does something politically powerful. It calls the U.S. Supreme Court to overturn Obergefell versus Hodges, the 2015 decision that legalized same-sex marriage nationwide. It also declares that marriage should be recognized only as between one man and one woman. Resolutions like this are symbolic, but symbols shape policy, culture, and future legislation. SCR 8 is a signal flare announcing the legislature intent to dismantle LGBTQ plus rights. SCR 8 states that Obergefell was wrongfully decided. Marriage should be defined exclusively as a heterosexual union. The Supreme Court should overturn marriage equality, and states, not the federal government, should control marriage policy. It also argues that same-sex marriage violates biblical teaching. Same-sex marriage violates Anglo-American common law tradition, and Justice Ginsburg and Kagan should not have participated because they officiated same-sex weddings. This is not subtle. It is a direct attack on LGBTQ plus families. It targets the community because it seeks to end same-sex marriage nationwide. If the Supreme Court overturned Obergefell, marriage equality should or would disappear in many states overnight, including Oklahoma, which still has same-sex marriage bans on the books that are currently unenforceable only because of that ruling. SCR 8 is an invitation to revive those bans. It delegitimizes LGBTQ plus families by declaring heterosexual marriage's only legitimate form. The resolution undermines LGBTQ plus parents, stigmatizes LGBTQ plus couples, and signals that queer families are inferior or invalid. This harms mental health, community safety, and social acceptance. It encourages future anti-LGBTQ plus legislation. Resolutions are often used to justify later bills. SCR 8 lays the ideological groundwork for adoption restrictions, foster care discrimination, parental rights rollback, healthcare discrimination, and education restrictions. We've already seen this pattern in Oklahoma's 2026 session. It reinforces religious justification for discrimination. SCR 8 explicitly cites biblical teaching as the basis for marriage policy. This is a direct violation of church-state separation, and it signals to agencies, courts, and communities that religious objections to LGBTQ plus people are state-endorsed. It increases stigma and violence. When the legislature declares LGBTQ plus families illegitimate, it emboldens harassment, bullying, discrimination, and hate crimes. Policy shapes culture. SCR 8 tells the public that LGBTQ plus people are not equal. It harms the LGBTQ plus youth. Even though the resolution focuses on marriage, its cultural impact hits youth the hardest. It tells LGBTQ plus youth that their future is not allowed. If same-sex marriage is illegitimate, then LGBT kids are told your love is invalid, your relationships are inferior, and your family is unacceptable. This increases depression, anxiety, and suicide risk. It encourages families to reject LGBTQ plus children. When the state declares LGBTQ plus identity incompatible with tradition, some families interpret this as permission to punish or suppress their child's identity. It undermines school safety. Anti-LGBTQ plus rhetoric from lawmakers filters into classrooms, increasing bullying and reducing support. It harms the adults. It threatens marriage rights. If this is passed, LGBTQ plus couples could lose marital status, hospital visitation, inheritance rights, tax benefits, adoption rights, spousal protections. It destabilizes existing marriages. Some states have proposed voiding same-sex marriages if this is overturned. SCR 8 encourages that possibility. It increases discrimination in workplace and housing. When the state declares LGBTQ plus families illegitimate, discrimination becomes easier to justify. SCR 8 fits into Oklahoma's larger anti-LGBTQ plus strategy. SCR 8 is not isolated. It is part of the coordinated pattern of HB 3130, 3138, 3242, 3502, and 3586, as well as 3132 and 3134. SCR 8 is the marriage equality attack in this pattern. It signals the legislature's desire to roll back LGBTQ rights at every level. But it also harms people outside of the community. Even though LGBTQ people are the primary targets, the resolution harms everyone. It undermines constitution stability. Calling for the reversal of a major civil rights ruling destabilizes legal precedent and invites chaos. It threatens interracial marriage and privacy rights. Obergefell is built on the same legal foundation as Loving versus Virginia, which was interracial marriage, Griswold versus Connecticut for contraception, and Lawrence versus Texas for private intimacy. Attacking one precedent endangers them all. It harms children of LGBTQ plus parents. Children in the same-sex families face legal uncertainty, stigma, and potential loss of parental rights. It encourages government overreach. SCR 8 asserts that the state should regulate marriage based on religious doctrine. This threatens the rights of atheists, interfaith couples, divorced people, remarried people, anyone whose marriage does not fit a narrow religious model. It damages Oklahoma's economy. Anti-LGBTQ plus legislation harms tourism, workforce recruitment, higher education, business investment. Companies avoid states that attack civil rights. SCR 8 is not just a symbolic resolution, it is a declaration of intent. It says LGBTQ plus families are not legitimate. Marriage equality should be undone. Religious doctrine should guide state policy, and the rights of millions should be rolled back. And while it does not change law today, it lays the foundation for tomorrow's attacks on marriage, on families, on safety, and on equality.